Oh my God.
Can I have another glass of Astonishing Iceman number 4?
Sure, here you go, but it is freezing cold.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Oh my God. Oh, actually, I was wondering, can you pass me some of the Wolverine?
Yes. Here
Oh
you
my
go.
God.
It's, take a few slices.
Oh my God. Oh, yum.
Oh, it goes really well with the Uncanny Avengers. Very teamy.
Thank you. Actually, I can't finish. I can't finish my Dark X-Men. Would you like to have the rest of mine?
Yeah, I would love to. Thank you.
Okay, there you go.
Yum. Oh, I needed that.
Oh my
Christmassy.
God.
And oh my God, girl, have you tried the Immortal X-Men number 17?
You know I did, girl. I finished my plate of it.
It's got a little Jean Grey number 4
Wait a minute, Brett. Oh, fuck. Give that to me now. Give it to me. Oh, fuck.
Take it.
Oh my God, I ate Jean Grey number 4. Do you know what that means? I have the power of the Phoenix. I am fire incarnate.
I'm burning.
I'm thankful for X-Men. Happy Thanksgiving!
Happy Thanksgiving! Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode number 281 of Comic Book Queer's Legacy. I am your host, Brett. Happy Thanksgiving. And this is your co-host, EvilJeff. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Well,
it's after Thanksgiving.
It's after Thanksgiving, but we missed last week because my ass got COVID, and my whole Thanksgiving was
canceled. You and I have both had it. This season, you and I have both had it. We got it out of the way.
Yeah. Well, I never tested positive, but I got sick, so I'm assuming. But my partner is still testing positive, still sick. Awful.
Did you have the same symptoms?
No. So then, but we got sick at the exact.
Had the flu.
But we got sick at the exact same time.
You had it's like women living together. You know, your immune systems are syncing up.
Oh, great! Well, fantastic.
Oh God.
Anyway.
So we're just going to talk about a lot of X-Men books because we missed 2 weeks of X-Men books and they just keep pooping them out.
They just kept on coming out.
Blow ass in our direction and all of these different X-Men titles come out.
Yeah.
But first, let's talk about some hot topics, shall we?
Hit the music. We got some hot topics. Yeah.
There's only one hot topic.
Yeah.
And that's the Fantastic Four casting.
Yeah. And
what do we know? What do we think we know? Let's phrase it that way.
It's I don't know how I feel about it.
If the Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards thing is true, here's where I'm at. My heart says no. My mind says, you fool, remember when you were on the right side of history when they cast Heath Ledger as Joker and you had just seen The Brothers Grimm and so you knew that he was going to be a great Joker because you knew he was going to be a great character actor? And everyone was like, that sucks. And I'm like, no, wait, it's going to be fucking amazing. Then boom, Oscar. However, I feel like that potential is here with Pedro Pascal and yet I'm not seeing it because I've been blinded by age.
By age? What do you think? He's too old to be Reed Richards?
No, I think I'm too old to see the beauty, to see the inspiration.
You know what? Here's my issue with casting Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards is Pedro Pascal has this like charm and this kind of swagger and this kind of like rough and tumble, which
he's rough and tumble,
and that is the literal opposite of everything that Reed Richards is. Do I think that Pedro Pascal is a good enough actor that he could play that other thing? Of course. But it's interesting of him. It's definitely going against type.
Sure. I mean, maybe he had an amazing audition.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great if Kevin Feige was like, all right, Pedro Pascal, like he's a great actor, but I'm not thinking him for Reed Richards at all. And then Pedro Pascal gave his reading and Kevin Feige shed one tear and said, it's you. What if that happened?
That could have happened. If he wasn't, who would you want him to be in the MCU if it wasn't Reed Richards?
Wow, what a good question. actually like, so I don't, no, not that. I'm sorry. I only see him as Maxwell Lord.
Who's Maxwell Lord?
He was the villain in Wonder Woman 2. One of them.
Oh, right. I can't remember what that guy's name is. Actually, you know who I think he would be good as? And
Who?
I think he could do the accent, which they would get so
accent?
angry. Him as Captain Britain.
Oh.
Like the alcoholic Captain Britain.
Yeah. Sure.
Do we know any other casting, or is it just him?
Actually, I would love to see Pedro Pascal as Dr. Doom.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the one with him and Ethan Hawke where they were like fucking like gay cowboys?
No, the short film by Almodovar. No,
Yeah.
I haven't. I think I would love that.
They showed a few scenes where you just see his pendulous dick through like a long
Pendulous.
shirt. Like you see his dick swinging behind his long shirt, and it's like,
Oh, that's so Almodovar. So we haven't even mentioned like who the rumored cast is. So we're already talking about Pedro Pascal, icon, legend. Pedro Pascal is Reed Richards. We've got Vanessa Kirby, Oscar-nominated Vanessa Kirby, I think twice.
For what?
I want to say twice. A Promising No. She was nominated for an Oscar. I was about to say Promising Young Woman. That's not her.
Pieces of a Woman.
Pieces of a Woman. Thank you so much. That is correct. Maybe she was only nominated the once. We're talking cousin from The Bear, whose name escapes me, as the Thing. What do we think about that? Wait, I'm sorry. We glossed right over Vanessa Kirby.
Vanessa Kirby, I've not seen a lot of things. I actually haven't seen The Pieces of a Woman, so I haven't.
I have not either.
So I haven't. I can't. I haven't really seen anything with her.
I don't know anything.
Yeah,
What
I'm just
about-
looking at what she's in, and she's been in big things.
Yeah, she's Mission Impossible. I've seen her
but
in
I
Mission
don't
Impossible.
watch Mission Impossible. Oh, she was in
Oh.
Hobbs and Shaw. Didn't watch that.
You know
She was
what,
Princess
though?
Margaret in The Crown. Didn't watch
So
that.
she's action. She's action and she's good acting. The Crown
Yeah.
and Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, I mean, just looking at
We
her,
like
she
this.
seems great.
She looks just like Sue. She seems great.
Yeah.
And I hear that the movie will be centered around Sue,
Yeah.
as it should be. And that's why people hated Eternals, by the way. The wrong people on the wrong side of history.
Yeah.
And then finally, we have Joseph Quinn as, I'm sorry, what about Cousin as the Thing? What's his name? It's like something Theobald?
I don't watch The Bear, so I don't know either.
Oh, God.
Is he the hot one with the kind of really close cut buzz cut?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's hot. I'm down with that. Who's
He's hot.
who's the
so great in the show. He's
who's
his
Human
name is
Torch?
Iban Mas Bacharach. Joseph Quinn, Eddie from Stranger Things,
Oh,
which I hate.
you hate that?
I do. I think I
Why?
just want a hotter Johnny Storm. Isn't that awful?
He's, you know what?
He's sexy though.
But people are he's that like Pete Davidson, that like ugly hot. Like everyone thinks he's hot. I think he's hot. I think he's kind of hot too. I'm fine with it.
I don't know. I think like people loved him as Eddie, and then I think people saw him not as Eddie, and they were like, "Oh wow, he's pretty hot." And then, but I mean, yeah. But here's my thing. I'm being unfair because I already have in my head who I want Johnny Storm to be, who the perfect Johnny Storm is. And if it's not this person, then I'm like, why? What are we doing? And that person is Nicholas Galzatine, who plays the prince, the British prince, in Red, White, and Royal Blue.
Right. Oh, I just saw Bottoms.
That's your... Oh my God, wasn't it so funny?
It was so fucking funny.
Wasn't he so funny?
They were all great in it. You know what? I need more like crazy lesbians, crazy horny lesbians.
Yes.
Like horny lesbians.
Horny lesbians.
I
Always
want
works.
more of it. I loved it. I thought it was
What's her name?
great.
Rachel Sennott? Rachel Sennott. She's like She's incredible. She's like a genre. She's a genre, that actress.
She's her own genre.
She's her own genre. She was in Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. She's just so good. She's so funny. And Io Itabiri. I mean, she's the it girl. Sorry, you don't watch The Bear with Io Itabiri? You need to. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going off. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I know. Joe loves The Bear. It's like his favorite show. And this is, and it's bad. I just have so many gay soap operas that I'm watching that it's like,
Listen,
really need to,
I get it.
You really need to like drag me away from hot gay sex.
There is not enough time in the day. You have to prioritize hot gay sex. And
speaking of,
what time is left?
And speaking of, I'm just going to throw out just a real quick shout out to, there's a big deal happening in the BL community right now. I've mentioned here before that there's a genre of gay and straight fiction, of like erotic fiction called the Omegaverse, in which there's alphas and omegas and betas, where the alphas can impregnate an omega, even if they're a man, so men can get pregnant. It's crazy. They just released a BL that's in that world where there's alphas and omegas and people are losing their shit. And it is called Pit
the next
Babe.
big thing.
It's called Pit Babe.
Pit Babe?
And it's all race car drivers.
Oh, just like in the air, up in the air.
Yeah. So it's race car drivers all battling of who's going to be the best race car driver. And then the one hot race car driver always has to fuck before his big race. It's pretty sexy. It's pretty fun. Anyway, yeah. So there's a lot of fun stuff that I just don't have time to see The Bear. People are like, I also just, my attention span is gone. People are like, I went to grad school for film. I could watch like a 3-hour movie where nothing happens.
Yeah.
Now they're like, here's The Bear. We're going to watch them cook. I'm like, yawn, take your clothes off. Although I did see some scenes. I saw some scenes where Jamie Lee Curtis, basically the star-studded Thanksgiving dinner, that seemed amazing.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Anyway, are there any other hot topics?
Fantastic Four. No.
Oh, isn't it Anna Taylor-Joy supposed to be Silver Surfer? Is that true?
We think Cillian Murphy is supposed to be Dr. Doom.
Cillian Murphy, who probably will win an Oscar for Oppenheimer, which I have not watched because it is too boring.
Too boring.
No, I really need to watch. No,
old white guys talking.
I know. I really do need to watch it though. But have you seen any interviews of Cillian Murphy?
I've seen so many interviews of Cillian Murphy just looking put out.
He is the worst. He is like, there's a point where you're like, oh, I'm above all this, but it's like, at least try to hide it a little. At least try to hide that you don't have complete and utter disdain for all of humanity. Where he's I don't do social media. Social media is for idiots. And you're like, well, fuck you, bitch. Like, he's like, I don't watch TV. Well, you're an actor, asshole. Like, I don't know. It's just like, what you're on a TV show, bitch. Like, I don't know. I'm just kind of.
What do you think he does? What does he do?
Probably just like reads books and just crossword puzzles. And
I would look at myself in the mirror and jerk off. If I
do not find him attractive at all.
So, I mean, now this is so horrible to say, but like now that he's gotten older, I don't. But back in the day, like 28 Days Later, he's a little too gaunt. He just looked sick. He always looks like, it's like he just started chemotherapy or something. It's hot. It's really hot.
Like heroin.
See them at.
What's the who's the guy from After Sun that was like the big actor?
Paul Mescal.
Paul Mescal. Now that I can get on board.
He was rumored to be Johnny Storm.
Oh, see, now that would have been amazing.
I mean, he's too good for that. He's too good for that. I can't wait for what's the movie with him and Moriarty with him and Andrew Scott.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
fucking
coming out in December.
Although I watched a trailer for it, and I was like,
it looks like I know, right?
Because at first I thought it was going to be like, ooh, sexy times and sexy and intense.
Sex.
But
No,
then he's like,
like
oh, here I'm
whimsical.
hallucinating my dead parents. And I was like, oh.
Yeah,
So it's like serious.
quirky.
Oh, speaking of like two hot guys, there's that new TV show with Matt Bomer and the guy from Bridgerton. Fellow Travelers.
Fellow Travelers. I have not watched it yet.
It was boring.
Of course.
And even the sex scenes, it was like, oh, I'm watching these two hot guys have sex. Okay. But then they're like,
Matt
all right, now
Bomer-
back to communism. And I'm like, oh, I don't care. I don't care
Matt
about
Bomer
communism.
is very attractive. Not the best actor.
Yeah. Also, Matt Bomer is too attractive for me. He's a little too like perfect Ken doll.
Yes.
I like
agreed.
someone whose face is a little beat up.
I
need to
did
feel like
meet
I
him
have
in
a shot.
person. I met him in I didn't meet him in person, but I did like a stage door after Boys in the Band, and he came out and signed playbills.
I'm sure his eyes pierced right through you.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I wanted to sit on that beautiful face like I've never sat on a chair in my life.
Yeah, that's just it's too much for me. It's too pretty.
Whew, like a work of art. Okay, can we talk about X-Men already? They're waiting.
All right, hit the music, bitches.
I was reading X-Men comics in a cocktail bar. That much is true. Yeah.
Sorry about that, everybody. Sometimes
X-Men.
EvilJeff and I forget that this is a show and not just us on the phone.
Talking about faggots. We were talking about gay stuff. I feel if we're talking about gay stuff, it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, what else would you and I talk about? Football?
Yeah. Plus, there's plenty of people that listen to this that don't read comics, so they're probably like, oh, talk about stuff I know about.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, back to Children of the Vault.
Are you still going to try and say that you thought this was good? You were like, oh, it's getting good. No, it wasn't.
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. I was happy it was ending. I was like, oh, this is the last one. Good. Okay, so that's real. But overall, I don't know. I think it wasn't executed in a way that really resonated with me. Conceptually, I do like the idea of the Children of the Vault, which was always hyped up to be this kind of like ultimate threat in the Krakoan era, but kind of in the background, was taken down by Bishop and Cable. I don't know. This one also gave me the vibe of like, we're just two pissed off people who've got nothing to lose. And I was like, yeah, more of that attitude among our mutants who are wandering the earth.
Yeah, but the one thing I will say is, and they didn't really follow it up, did they blow up the Sun headquarters?
I think they did.
Like they blew it up, but they didn't show, like there's one shot of the bomb going off, but I'm like, is it gone? Is that gone? That's a big deal.
Climax. That's like a climax of an event, you know?
That's a big deal. And then they never talked about it ever again. And I'm like, is it gone? Because for me, that's the only major thing that I think happened in this. Otherwise, none of this could have happened and it would make zero difference. Zero.
Yeah, I know. Like the Children of the Vault thing. But this book ended really weird. It was like, for like Orcus, like it was very Empire Strikes Back ending. It was like Orcus now is more popular than ever because they filled in the void that the Children of the Vault like the hero worship void that was created when Children of the Vault left, which I'm like, again, the whole thing of like how big in scope the story was, but did not bleed into anything else was like such an issue with it. But then they're like, but for others, the ones trapped in the cities left behind by the Children of the Vault, those cities are collapsing into toxic debris and everybody in them is sick and dying. Good night.
The end. What?
What the fuck?
Yeah, I hated it. I hated it, and I'm glad it's gone. I'm glad it's done. So are they done for? Did they just return back to the vault?
They're just like, you know what? We are giving up on you. We're going to live in our vault
forever. Okay, and I hope we never hear from them ever, ever, ever again.
Same.
And just the idea, and I'm sick of these writers come and they're like, you know what? I'm gonna like put out this like new cool character. No, you're not. For 3 issues, no one cares. Give me like, if you're gonna, it's just for 3-4 episodes. This like introducing all these new characters. It's like we already have enough of characters we do like. Just keep to the classics.
Yeah, keep it to the table.
Because when you create a new character,
everything on the table.
I don't give two shits about like Cable battling Bishop. That has stakes. Cable and Bishop battling these nobodies. Who cares?
Totally.
All right, what's next?
Next, why don't we talk about Astonishing Iceman? Number 4. This one had Spider-Man.
Yeah. You know what? Now that I'm looking at this, I think I didn't read this.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if you did, but you just don't remember.
This isn't ringing it. Did anything interesting happen?
No, not really. It's like the only interesting thing is, wait, what's the other book that Uncanny Spider-Man
has these Feral?
Hounds.
It's Feral, and who's the other one?
It's Fatale.
Fatale as weird hound. What are they like? What's the techno-organic hounds?
Yeah. And, they fight Iceman, and Spider-Man intervenes, and there's fun friendship moments between Spider-Man and Iceman. Vulture's in it. Mr. Clean is back. And, Mr. Clean is in Iceman's house, and he knocked out Romeo.
Oh, okay. That's where it ends. Oh, okay. See, that's where the good stuff is, because we need to get past this.
That's where the good stuff is.
Romeo being stuck in Antarctica.
Yeah. So I bet next issue will be interesting.
All right. And I hope Mr. Clean comes out of the closet and then decide to have an orgy and not be bad guys.
Why don't you just call yourself Dominant Top, Mr. Clean? We get it.
Right.
Yeah, right. I know. It's a front. Bossy Bottom.
What's next? If we're going from worst to best...
I feel like Uncanny Avengers is down there in the dregs. We have a reveal.
Yeah. Do you want to, let me pull this up. They finally reveal who Captain Krakoa
is. And it's Hydra Cap from Secret Empire.
I didn't fully read all of that. They were two separate people.
You wouldn't know.
They were two separate people?
Yes. Hydra Cap was created by like Kobik, who was like a cosmic cube person. Like not a cosmic cube, but a person.
Right.
And it's Hydra Cap. That's why Fenris Lady was like, that's why Andrea Strucker was like, oh, it's you. Oh.
I know, these fucking like Nazis, Jesus Christ.
Everywhere, Nazis. Everywhere.
And I don't know, is anything else? I guess, like, I'm trying to think of what else interesting happened.
The only thing, there's Blob. I think, does Blob finally know that he's on the wrong side?
I think
Blob is with the X-Men now.
Oh, we did get fucking Psylocke chopping off Fenris's
hands.
That's
was great.
Kind of awesome. I like that.
That was kind of awesome. With Ben Urich is like...
Yeah, the Blob is like confessing like where the nuke is. So I think he's like, oh shit.
Yeah, he's there in the shot with them. Yeah. So the Blob has finally realized what side he's supposed to be on. Yay, Fred. Yay, Fred.
And then Dr. Stasis. Yeah. Dr. Stasis is not doing well. He can't even get the Juggernaut's powers. He just seems like he's trusting... He's making really stupid choices for like an evil genius.
Why? I bet like Orcus has become such a big organization. It must be really hard to make decisions and then get those decisions through. Like, I think Orcus, like management wise, to be part of management probably sucks. And there's a lot of red tape and there's a lot of logistics and a lot of ego.
Yeah, and then I will say they were like, and then they ended it with where this is where I feel like is a 50-year-old writing this comic where it's like
Yes.
the Daily Bugle comes out with an article finally revealing that
I know,
Orcus
right?
lies. Who the fuck reads a newspaper?
Who's gonna believe? Who believes?
And who believes
news?
the newspaper? People will be like, oh, that's the Daily Bugle. They're a bunch of like leftist fucker. You know what I mean? A
Right.
newspaper article means nothing. I want to hear about, it's all over the algorithm. There's a whole bunch of videos.
I mean, I don't know.
On TikTok.
Listen, I live in the lands of the New York Times. If the New York Times drops a bomb, it's a bomb.
In New York. That's because you're in New York.
No, in the world.
No,
Everywhere, people are like,
girl,
the New
in
York Times is
Texas,
reporting.
everyone in Texas would be like, whatever. I'm not going to believe it.
everybody.
It's the New York Times.
Not everybody.
Well, maybe in New York. I guess maybe New York will be like, Orcus, but I think
Everybody.
overall it still just feels...
every morning when the New York Times drops on our doorsteps, everybody in New York at the same time goes,
You shut up. You are so full of shit and you're a fucking liar.
every day, every morning. All right. Dr. Stasis, I want to talk about him in a little bit. I think when we get to Immortal, though. Anyway.
All right.
Nothing else about Uncanny Avengers, right?
Yeah. Should we talk? I think we need
Alpha
to save Jean Grey to go into
Yes.
Immortal.
Let's talk about Alpha Flight.
This is one of the only ones I really like. I mean, besides the main.
I like that. Oh, I know. You know, I was thinking about you because I don't know what you somehow connected with this Argent character.
Yeah.
Like very oddly from my perspective. And they are showing up.
Yeah. What do you mean by showing up? They're just in it? Are they they? Are they non-binary?
Can we go with that?
Okay, sure.
I don't think so. I think Argent is referred to as he in the book.
Okay.
Okay, so Argent is a he. And
he fucked up bad.
He fucked up bad because he ran away. And then because he ran away,
they were able to pinpoint
track
where everything was. Yeah.
And so then they attacked.
Although, and I did catch, I called it a mile away when they were like, they're tracking us. They're going to be tracking us. I'm like, nope, they're tracking him.
They're tracking Kyle.
But basically, Heather Hudson, which I didn't realize because we found out Heather Hudson was it Nemesis? What's the
Nemesis? Yeah.
It's Nemesis. But it turns out Guardian did not know it was her. Uh-oh. And so he's like, why the fuck? You didn't tell me it was your wife? And they're like, well, she didn't want to tell you. Awkward. Like, he's like, it wasn't my place. She said, keep it secret. I was like, oh, that's fucked up to put everybody in that mess.
It's good, though. It's good.
Yeah. No, but that's what I'm saying is like, this is having that drama in the midst of like, they're trying to save mutants from Canada while trying to act like they're the bad guys. Like, it's reverse Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
You know, and I just find that it's like just so there's stakes are there. There's just stakes. And I'm excited of like what is going to happen.
It's great because from the beginning, their whole undercover status was a ticking time bomb. And you knew this was not sustainable and this couldn't last. And it just adds to the pressure as the story goes.
Yeah.
It's great. It gets harder to navigate the lie. It's so good. And then it's just really good classic Alpha Flight drama. I feel like this is a team that is just always wrapped up in Heather and Max drama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
James, Max.
They can't fucking get over it.
And the whole team is like, oh my God, we're stuck in the middle of these two.
One of them's always getting killed. One of them's always dying.
And North Star's like,
coming back.
I'm just trying to be a friend. Okay.
What's the Department H lady's name?
Oh God, I keep forgetting Marjorie.
Canadian Val Cooper.
Canadian Val Cooper.
I also like that she's not dumb. She's like, no, don't put them in there. I don't trust them. Like I
like that she's not dumb.
I like that she's
dumb for plot convenience.
Exactly. She's kind of like, no, they're doing weird stuff. I don't trust them. And it just makes it more believable.
And I like feedback in his weird story too. He's like, I had my clone killed. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. Yeah, he had the clone, and the
just-
clone was the one that was being used as a generator and then died in what was that? In Marauders?
Marauders.
Yeah.
Wild. This is a good book, and the art is good too.
And it just also feels that I think maybe Kyle might get killed.
Oh my God, girl. I was just going to say, we are closer to Kyle getting killed than we've ever been. Ever.
I'm telling you right now, Kyle is a thorn in North Star's side. We need
This
to
is
get North Star needs to be with a
highly
mutant.
outrageous.
He needs to be with a
This
superhero.
Oh my God, this is the worst.
I know.
This is the worst.
And people want to come for me. It's totally justified. Sure, come for me.
Oh yeah, no, please. This is awful.
But
This is
having
admittedly-
North Star, the sassiest, bitchiest character, be happily married to a human with no powers,
it
snooze.
grounds him.
It's snooze fest. I need drama.
Please.
And
They
I'm
have
also that I'm so
drama.
against stop killing off people just for plot purposes. I'm like, well, except for him.
Why do you want to put North Star through that? He loves him.
But what if but right before he dies, he's like, by the way, I was cheating on you. And then he's like, and then he drops
By the way-
dead. And he's like, I'm
by the way,
over it.
He dies. He goes, Hail Hydra. Hail Orcus.
Oh my God, that would be crazy.
That would be amazing if Kyle was like the founder of Orcus.
And and here's the thing, because you know who the next love interest I want to be?
Daken.
Yes. Brother and sister fighting over a man.
Yes.
Come on.
You have to do this.
Come on. We're giving you the plots.
Can we write what do we do? Do we write Marvel and be like, please turn Alpha Flight into an ongoing?
Yeah. Turn
Is
it
it?
into an ongoing and have it
Like,
all be.
Did we miss an
have
announcement?
it end in incest, like Dick's the musical.
Oh, it's so good.
What else is going on?
Well, those were. I think that was it for 2 weeks ago. So now we've got. Oh, we didn't talk about Dark X-Men.
This is another one where it's just. I'm just having trouble.
Yeah,
getting attached to. I just feel like there's something there. There's no soul to it, which is ironic because it's dealing with Inferno and souls and soul swords and all that shit. But I guess I just don't really. I need to know what is the real difference between this Goblin Queen and the other Goblin Queen. Like the two Goblin Queens. One's just I'm just more evil, and I'm just sort of evil. I'm like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? I mean,
it's a weird pull to pull the Goblin Queen from that Battle World Inferno book, which is where she's from.
Yeah.
Which is just odd, but I think you're right. There's really no emotional grounding in this book. It's just a bunch of crazy stuff that happens.
Yeah, and then
so
they
it's
keep
hard to
on,
connect
and
with these
also, but then it's
characters.
also but because it's Dark X-Men, let's just kill off all these mutants in really brutal, horrible ways.
That I wanted to talk about. They killed off a lot of D-list X-Men villains in this issue, and it did feel a little I know it was going for laughs, but murder laughs.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it just didn't. Exactly. I think it's because it was going for more laughs. It ended up feeling kind of oh. I don't know if they deserved that kind of ending.
I have to think, so the death of the mutant Abyss at the hands of his father, Azazel.
Yeah.
And Azazel killing him like that. I think part of that to me felt subtextual in that it was a statement on that Nightcrawler story, the Draco, that was revealed that Nightcrawler and Abyss were all part of this subset of mutants that are dark blue, indigo, purple, and can teleport. And then it was supposed to be, I think, Angel and a bunch of other mutants look like Angel were the opposite of these demonic looking. Anyway, I think that was kind of a fuck you to the Draco. I don't know if anyone else felt that way, but I did. The story that revealed that Azazel is Nightcrawler's dad.
Yeah. And then it was like, why did she kill? And then it's like how she grabs, what's the girl with the changeling powers? What's her name again now?
Faint.
Faint. She grabs her by the neck, but then kills the other girl hiding. I don't know.
Right.
It's just so random.
Yeah.
Like, you would have killed. And then she's like sitting on a pile of dead bodies, and Faint is there, like Princess Leia style with Jabba the Hutt. I'm like, why is she alive? It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's just going for like really gross comedy.
Yeah, I'm just not. And then there's just weirdness. They're not addressing all the weirdness between Alex and Madeline. That's the heart of what it should be about.
Yes.
And they're not talking about it at all.
Yeah.
Anyway, fuck this comic. Okay. So now we're getting down. Let's talk about Wolverine, because this is another one where it's fun, but it also feels very just like sidekick of the week.
Filler, yeah. But I loved it.
But it's fun. Yeah. Oh, it's fun. Yeah.
This book. I don't know that. Like, yeah. We know that Wolverine is at Latveria now with, you know, the Ms. Marvel and Kitty. So he is part of the action. These side adventures, to me, they're just so well written because Benjamin Percy isn't really bound by much continuity. He gets to have these little pocket adventures, and they're just really well done because of that, because they're kind of untethered.
And isn't this the Orcus girl? Isn't this the Orcus girl who was being written by the writer guy? Yeah.
Yes, it is. June Wei. Yeah. She's a fucking asshole. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. And it does look like I'm not caught up on Black Panther. Why does he seem to be in hiding? Do you know what's going on?
So he's in exile, and he's wearing like a non-tech outfit. Like, he was like, I know you don't recognize me in my suit. Like, there's so much times like, you look like Black Panther to me, but I think the whole thing is like,
I know,
he's
right?
in, like, wraps. You know, he's in like wraps and not high tech.
But there's one thing here, listeners, there's one reason why Brett likes this comic, and I can pinpoint to you the page of where it is. There's a point where Black Panther is like, should I be insulted that you doubt me? And he's like, well, you're kind of in the habit of losing things. What are you talking about? Aurora. Oh, snap.
Oh,
shit. That was fun.
And then he doubled down. He was like, it did happen twice. Oh, there was something else that Logan did in this book. I can't remember what it is, but it just like, it's when he decapitated or when he killed the Orcus soldier and then yelled up to June Wei, hey, I heard you were in the market for some metal. I don't know why. I giggled at that moment. It just felt very cool Wolverine. Cool Wolverine is a good thing. It's just that so much of it has been crammed down our throats for so long.
But I will say there is hypocrisy in this, and I hate this. He is killing, decapitating, murdering every single soldier. The main, most evil, bad lady, and Black Panther's like, no, don't kill her. Killing isn't the answer. I'm like, he already killed like 7 people. And now it's like the person that will actually do the most damage and kill many more people. You're like, no, don't. I hate that shit.
Stop here before the one murder that will be very effective.
Yeah, I'm just like so fucking over it. It's like either don't murder anyone or fucking murder the big bad. Murder the big bad guy.
Right. If you're going to be on this, if you're murdering anyway, you might as well.
Yeah. She's not good.
Get a few extra points.
Oh,
but again, I love the art in this book. I've just loved these little adventures. I like the sidekick of the week. First it was Hulk, and then it was Captain America, and now it's Black Panther. Do you know who's next? It's fucking Spider-Man. Yeah. And it's going to be so good. I bet Benjamin Percy writes a great Peter Parker.
Oh my God, why don't you just suck his dick already?
I'm a big Benjamin Percy fan. Wow, what a journey. Long time listeners, I hope you appreciate that moment.
let's talk about, speaking of Spider-Man,
Both of you.
let's talk about Uncanny Spider-Man.
Oh, okay, let's do that. What do you think?
This is painting a very depressing world, and I'll just say it's a little bit mimicking of like things that are going on in the real world, and
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know, it kind of
fascism in New
bothers
York.
me.
Hi.
It's very disturbing to me. Basically, they saw a pizza delivery guy
Yeah.
put down like an honorary pizza where at the treehouse because the mutants were his best customers. And so they're like, oh, you like the mutants? You like the X-Men? You must be a mutant. Let's murder you.
Yeah.
So they're dragging him down to lynch him, basically. And Spider-Man comes to save him. But then a fucking Stark Sentinel comes and is like, oh, he's not a mutant. And then everyone's like, oh, whoops. It's just so... It's so
but then the Stark
up.
Sentinel was then like, however...
I detect a mutant in Spider-Man. And he's like, huh?
Right. What? So now
he can
anybody
detect
who's different?
I guess he's now like, oh, now anybody with powers. The Sentinels are like, we're going to kill you.
Yeah.
And,
Wild.
but then off comes fucking, I love how it's like, can I just ask, how is Mystique doesn't even know her name, but she can fucking put together a bazooka and fire? But how does that work?
She doesn't seem to be having memory problems. Like, I was surprised that she was coherent in this. And she's like, don't you understand? Like, they killed my baby. She just says like, her priorities are out of whack all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It feels like she's like coming around to being normal Mystique. She's definitely not the wandering around Central Park lady anymore. And she's like, F you, stranger. They took my baby. You don't even know what they did to my baby. Which it's just, she ain't
also,
wrong.
it's like, but also she's like, give me back my wife. Give me back my wife. Give me back my baby. Give me back my baby. Baby back, baby back, baby back ribs. Like, what the fuck is next with this bitch?
And she doesn't care about them at all.
No, totally.
She doesn't. It's weird. Anyway, Silver Sable, she's like straight in love with Kurt.
But it's fucking up her mission, and they're kind of like, they don't like that.
They don't like that, so she turns him in. How about that?
Yeah, but this is clearly. I feel like she has a plan, right? Or did she turn? What do you think?
Oh, she got a plan.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that she is really turning him in.
She got a plan.
But is Kurt in on the plan?
Probably not. Did I? Maybe he is. I take that back.
But I
is
love
that
how
Stacey X?
But we also have wait, what'd you say?
Is that Stacey X licking him before he goes into the?
Really?
No, she doesn't have a tongue like that, does she? No.
I don't think so. Yeah, I guess they didn't say. I don't know who that. I guess they didn't say who that mutant
I wonder.
is.
Yeah.
But before that, finally Nightcrawler hits up Mystique and he's like, "We need to talk." And then it's like,
yes.
and they do, and that's that.
Oh my
whole
god,
other,
that page!
That is a whole
that
other
whole
comic.
page. That whole page that just says, "And they do." I thought that was great.
Yeah.
And you can see it all, and that's coming out next week, by the way. X-Men Blue Origins, where you see their conversation. So, when we see Nightcrawler, after that, is he like, "Oh my God, Destiny is my mother"? Because you know that's what it's. If it's not that, if it's not that, I will riot, and nothing will calm me down until I see Taylor Swift play Dazzler. But between those two things, I am a maniac.
I think it would be great for where Mystique is the dad, you're saying.
Yes.
But then what about him? What about Azazel?
Seaman? Oh, they'll make some shit up.
So you're saying he's not part of him at all?
I'm saying he's not part. I'm wondering, can Mystique produce semen? Is my thing. That's where I'm at.
I think she can. I
Join
also
me.
think, but then my thing is Mystique related to Azazel, or is she just supposed to be fucked up? What if she's his daughter? What if Azazel is his grandfather?
What? What the fuck?
What?
I mean, haven't Mystique and Azazel had sex?
Has that been established that they've actually fucked?
I think so.
Or has it just been said like, oh, that's your dad?
No, like what happened? I think like it was said that like they fucked and had Nightcrawler.
But what if that was just a lie?
I think it's a lie.
Okay. And so then maybe it's his dad. Maybe she fucked her dad. You know what? Incest is in right now.
Dix the Musical.
Yeah, you know, Aurora, North Star, they're doing it. Everybody's doing it.
Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver.
Yeah, it's like
Ultimate Universe is back. We'll see them fucking again.
I mean, remember back, Grant Morrison wrote it. Remember when Nazi Captain Britain tried to rape Psylocke?
Oh my God, Grant Morrison didn't write that.
Yes, he did.
No way. No, he didn't.
What? Did you not read the old not Grant Morrison, sorry, Alan Moore. I don't know why I mixed Alan Moore.
Oh my God.
Alan Moore. The Alan Moore Captain Britain.
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah. Anyway, what's next?
Are we at Iron Man?
Yes. Invincible Iron Man. We got Mysterio. I guess he's like not Iron Man. He's Mysterium Man, really.
He's going to be Mysterium Man. Or he is. Yeah, he has the suit already. Or does, yeah, right?
Yeah. And then Iron Man is so fucking stupid. He does not tell Emma anything about Riri Williams.
Anything. And
anything.
You have this like optically weird fight between Emma and Riri.
Literally because he's like, oh, whoops, I forgot to tell you, both of you.
Yeah.
I'm like, you were so stupid. But I didn't realize that she has. Well, she has those rings. Are those the same rings the Mandarin, like that the Mandarin?
I get. That was what I thought when she had. I'm like, yeah. I mean, if she's got rings and she's an Iron Man character, it's gonna have to be, right?
Yeah, those are the same ones that Psylocke gathered one by one when she murdered every X-Men.
When she murdered everybody when she was Lady Mandarin.
My favorite comic ever. Ugh.
She was so sexy.
Anyway, those two meet. I like them together. I'm like, they seem like fun. Like, they seem like they're clearly gonna like each other.
Because they have a fastball special.
Yeah,
they went from enemies to fastball special.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
Emma,
because she had to use her powers enough for a Sentinel to come looking for her.
Here's what I need from Emma: be better with the ring. Stop taking it off.
Yeah.
You know better. Stop taking it off.
Yeah. And but so is their cover completely blown then, do you think? Or were they able to kill the Sentinel before he could
They killed the Sentinel because Riri has PIM particles, and so they shrunk it and stamped on it.
But isn't there a thing called like the internet? Like, where it probably
only if the story needs it.
Anyway, we now have Riri, Emma. It's so strange where it's like She-Hulk. We got She-Hulk.
War Machine.
We have War Machine, Emma, Ironheart, and Kingpin. This is the weirdest team.
It's such a weird cat. Yeah.
But I love it. It's great.
Breaking his own nose to make it look like Mystique was the mutant.
I love how everyone's just blaming Mystique. Firestar, don't you get what it was Mystique.
Jean Grey is in the white hot room right now going, God damn it, I said Beast. Stop throwing Mystique under the bus.
And then they have this weird Thanksgiving, which is weird.
Oh my God, the weird Thanksgiving in the Morlock tunnels. Let's talk about who had Thanksgiving together. So we've got Kitty, Deadpool, Sync, Quicksilver, Laura, Ms. Marvel, Tony, Emma, Cap, and Rogue.
Yeah.
Weird. And they have turkey in the sewer.
Yeah, sewer turkey.
Girl, I'm like,
where's the fucking oven that you're cooking a turkey in the sewer?
I'm like, this is nice, but I'm not eating.
Yeah. Oh, I love that smell of feces really goes with the stuffing.
Oh, isn't this where I watched a Morlock had their head stamped on until they were dead?
Yeah. And then can I ask, what is the significance to that medal that he brought in?
I think it's a suit because
it's a suit. Okay.
Tony had Riri do something with Pym particles when he was like, could you finish the project? And she's like, yeah, I got it. And then she said, what are the Pym particles for? And then he was like, look. And she was like, oh, it's so cute. I think there might be like a shrunk down War Machine suit.
Got it. Oh, okay. That's
the metal.
Cool. All right. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it. And there's this book, and then there's another one that pretty much intimates like we're not going to be underground much longer. Which I guess is going to be like in this, Emma's like, we won't be underground much longer. And then there was another book where somebody said the same thing. Maybe it was Children of the Vault or something. But this sentiment of like, we're bringing the fight to them finally. You're starting to feel it.
Let's talk about Jean Grey.
Let's talk about Jean Grey.
This
Mutants
is basically
like that Jean Grey.
The first ones were like a bunch of what ifs, which was interesting. This one was literally just, I'm going to do long diatribes.
Like a recap?
Shit. Like long recaps about.
I'm just going to, we're going to talk about the previous 3 issues in a monologue. Ready? Yeah. Which is the most Jean Grey thing ever.
And she's kind of like talking to the Madeline version of herself and I think so. Here's the interesting. What were you laughing at?
I was just gonna say I read this book and I just want to like look at Jean and be like me. It's all about me. Me.
Well, but that's the thing is the White Hot Room. Is the White Hot Room for all Phoenixes, as we saw in Grant Morrison? I got the right person there. Or now is it really just for Jean Grey?
I think it's the nexus for all Phoenixes. But I want to apologize to Jean Grey. I know this is a book called Jean Grey and therefore it should be about you. Okay. I think it's the nexus where all the Phoenix hosts can converge.
But here's something. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. You finish your.
I was going to say, I would imagine that's why Hope and maybe even Exodus are there because they too will be Phoenix hosts, or I don't know.
But everybody's there. What are you talking about? Everyone's in the.
Yeah, but everyone's there because they followed Hope and Exodus. It's an abstract concept in my head.
Okay, but here's my question, which riddle me this.
Okay.
If this is now establishing that she's basically immortal because she's connected with this Phoenix Force, that whenever she dies, she goes to the White Hot Room. However, she has already died between that and was resurrected.
Did she go to the White Hot Room?
Did she go to the White Hot Room
I say no.
In House of X?
I say yes.
Or, okay, but
the
here we go.
Phoenix didn't need her then.
No, all right, no, that's we need to no prize this. I have my own no prize. What's your no prize to like figure out how this can work?
She faked it.
No, mine is I think she did go to the White Hot Room, but as they're like, oh, your soul is being put back together, we're sending you back into that body.
Yeah.
So I think she did. So I'm saying she was in that White Hot Room for that too.
I think so. I think it's safe to assume anytime Jean Grey dies, she goes to the White Hot Room. So. And
I do think now, but now she's basically like, I also just need to be honest that I always have a piece of the Phoenix with me and I'm just going to fucking use it.
I'm kind of the Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm the fucking Phoenix.
Yeah, that's it. I have to accept that. I have to accept all of it. I have to accept all of it and move on. That's really what this book is. I have to accept all of it and I have to move on. And look at that. I've grown. And now I'm a Phoenix.
And then Hope was able to even like access the Phoenix power as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is pretty great. I wonder, is Hope going to be our... No, Jean Grey will be Phoenix. I also think that she will serve on some sort of Apocalypse-led X-Men team.
Sure.
Or her own.
I'm surprised they haven't had, there isn't an X book called The Omegas.
Right?
Where it's all Omega level. A team of Omegas.
The whole book would be like, look what I can do. Look what I can do.
Yeah, it's like Iceman, Jean Grey, Apocalypse. Is Apocalypse Omega?
Ooh, good question.
I don't think he is. But Exodus, Hope. Let's talk about Immortal, because that kind of Jean Grey shows up there as well.
Yeah. So they're definitely tied for sure.
But before we get to that, we find out that Xavier, the last time we saw Xavier is he realized like, Sinister is still in me. But what we learn is that we thought, if Sinister was in him, does that mean when Hope and Emma and all of them were resurrected, is Sinister in them? No. This is like even when they all first joined forces with Moira and everyone, he implanted the thing to get inside his head back then.
It's before that. It's
even
like
before that?
It's the whole thing of like Xavier's dad and Nathaniel Essex.
That was my takeaway. Shit. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think because Sinister goes way back with the Xavier lineage, and so I thought that was what they're referring to.
Yeah, and so now Sinister is still in the hole, but at night. But I would say, is this just the Sinister inside of Xavier, or is
it's not even that?
Is that Sinister able to even connect with the one in the hole, or is it just like this? What is that?
He's like remnants.
Remnants.
I forget the phrasing he uses. He says it later, but it's a very limited version.
That one, like, so the Sinister in the hole has no idea what's going on up here with this guy.
It's not the same possession. It's like leftover shit. I think. Let's go through it.
And so basically, Xavier is being taken over by this persona at night and murdering people to protect.
Yeah, but I mean, out of protection. Yeah, totally. Yeah. But then pretty quickly we go to where we were in what we saw in the Jean Grey book, which is Exodus and Hope, and like a catatonic Jean Grey fighting this apocalypse, not apocalypse thing.
Where then Hope accesses the Phoenix Power and Phoenix Power, and destroys it.
Yes, and as we're seeing in these adventures, I can't help but notice that we are also in these weird caption boxes seeing old Jean Grey quotes, which ties it to.
Are they? What do you mean by old Jean Grey? Are they all from old quotes?
Yeah, I think these are like from all over her history. Like, you guys make me sick. What happened to our commitment to Professor Xavier's dream? The gaze of the Phoenix is like an X-ray tearing through every deception. That feels like Morrison, and I'm Fire Life Incarnate now and forever. It just feels like there's a lot of Jean Grey quoting in here, or Phoenix quoting in here.
And then I love Xavier's like, "Hey, Emma, you don't have any Sinister influence in you."
She's like, "Thanks, bye."
Great. What about you? And he's like, "No." So I gotta go. And she's like, "Well, okay."
I'm sorry. I'm back on the Jean thing. One thing that Jean says is Jean is the house where I live. That was a Grant Morrison line. That was like, remember that scene where she just made all the forks and everything like form the Phoenix around her in the Grant Morrison run?
Right.
When she was like sitting in a chair.
Right.
She said, Jean is the house where I live.
No,
but then they added to it. And I am the house where
My
Jean
favorite Grant
Grey
Morrison Phoenix line is actually not uttered by Jean, but uttered by Emma.
Bloody Jean.
When Wolverine and Emma are like dying and they're being saved. They're in the water and they're being saved. And he's like, "What is that?" She's like, "Can't you tell? It's bloody Jean showing off."
That is in Emma's top 10 lines of all time.
We also talk about the Dominion.
Yes.
Where Sinister is basically like, it's not me, but it's one of them. They made a Dominion. And here's the thing is, if the Dominion is outside of time, they're like, you need to stop it. But if it's outside of time, if it happened at any point in time, isn't it too late to stop it? Right?
Wouldn't you think? But, if it's outside of time, can't you stop it from anywhere, any when?
Exactly. But in this one, apparently this version of how time works, if you stop the incident, it would then erase it from the outside of time. See, I don't know if that would work.
The thing I think is most interesting here is when Sinister says, I was compelled. I sometimes feel like I didn't have a choice. Back up. Listen, Krakoa was a great idea. I wish I didn't fuck it up, but I had to be a Dominion. I was compelled. I sometimes feel like I didn't have a choice.
I mean, there it is right there. That the original Sinister put in all those clones, that compulsion.
1000%. The one who got achieved Dominion, I bet, is the original Nathaniel Essex. Yeah, totally.
And
love that.
Yeah.
And then we have
and I also like that Xavier was kind of threatening suicide the entire time.
Yeah. He's like, and if everything kind of ended with like, and if not, and if I'm wrong, and if I'm off, I'll kill myself.
I know. Like, fuck. And then we get something where I need to see how this she fucking better not be dead, because this is going to piss me off.
Mother Ray just stabs Destiny.
Fucking stabs Destiny. But we also find out her powers don't work in the White Hot Room because it's the place of all creation where anything is possible.
Yeah, you're not in a timeline. Right.
So she can't see like what the future is. So she fucking stabs her. But then this little kid who's always showing up.
Oh, little Kafka.
Kafka fucking shows up and then she's like, I guess I need to kill you.
Kafka is the eternal kid who stumbles on something horrible. It happens all the time.
What if that's his power?
Which is why I love him.
I want that to be his power.
I just want to hug him and be like, it's okay. It's okay. This boy is so traumatized.
But he is able to tell Exodus and Hope. But now Mother Righteous is using Krakoa to like fight them. And while they're all fighting, she's like going, like Jean Grey's still a little catatonic. And so she's like gone off to her.
And so she wants Jean for something. Then we cut back to Xavier.
And he goes into like the Sinister, what is this? The Sinister Den or Bar
it's
Sinister?
Looked like a ship.
While Mother Righteous takes Jean. So Mother Righteous now has Jean and Sinister has Xavier. I feel like they're all going to meet up.
It's a ship. It's a ship made out of Unis the Untouchable and Tempo's powers.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Did he say that in there?
He says it, yeah.
Oh, you're right.
So they're going to Muir Island.
Fuck up Moira McTaggart.
Damn. I'm excited.
Some good stuff.
Yeah, but then you got Mother Righteous with Jean leading like on a leash.
Well, I think she's leaving. I think she's good because all that's happening in one of her balls. I think she's going to take Jean outside the ball. And she's going to start. I think this is her next plan is like, okay, now I'm going to kind of take over Orcus. I think her next plan is like, I need to start getting rid of like Dr. Stasis and Fei Long and all of them. And I'm going to start taking over. That's my prediction.
Interesting. Do you think she wants the Phoenix?
I have a feeling she probably knows that maybe her body can't handle it.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like if you're going to go the route of Mastermind, that did not turn out too well. When you try to just use control.
That is true. But it feels like the Phoenix is the kind of thing you need to achieve Dominion if you're going to do so via magic.
Yeah. But she has to figure out a way to make the Phoenix trust her enough to give it over to her. Also, where's Echo and all this? I also think they need to go to Echo, because I think you need to.
It would be nice if Echo was a part of this. Yeah. How do you know that hasn't been dealt with? There might have been a whole like, goodbye, Phoenix. Thank you. I love you. It was about the friendship we made along the way.
Does Echo still have... So you're saying Echo might not have the Phoenix power anymore?
Yeah, I don't think she's on the Avengers anymore. I don't think she has the Phoenix. I think it's potentially that I think it's feels probable.
Nope. I'm looking just on Wikipedia, which usually updates things. She still has the Phoenix power.
Damn.
So interesting.
Good. Do you think she'll get it in the show? Totally, right?
That would be weird. Don't enter the Phoenix through Echo. I just feel like that just is not the right. That's not the right call.
What if they alluded to it though?
No, I just want.
We found some sort of.
Yeah. They fucked up enough. Although now they're probably like, oh, all the superhero things are doing bad, so we're just gonna scrap the X-Men. I'm like, great.
Do you know what? I'm gonna make a prediction about Deadpool 3. I think it's gonna be filled with so many X-Men characters. I think we're gonna see a ton. I think we're gonna see like Artie and Leech. Maybe not that, but like Magic and like Dazzler and I don't know, like Maggot.
I would love to see the New Mutants from the New Mutants movie.
Yeah. Yeah, some of that was good casting. Some of it.
Shit.
Not even most of it. I want to talk about another book because it's X-Men. I just want to bring it up because as the fall of the House of X and the rise of the Powers of 10 approaches to conclude the Krakoan era, one of the books that is going to accompany those books is The Resurrection of Magneto. And evidently, this key that Magneto picked up along the way in the Krakoan era is going to play into the resurrection plot. And I was like, oh yeah, what was that thing he picked up a key in? And it was that giant size X-Men Magneto issue where he got the island for Emma from Namor, the island that would then house
I do remember that.
And he got that key from those like weird sea creatures when he guessed like the right object.
And is he not going to come back from normal resurrection, but from that?
I hear that key has something to do with it.
Interesting. Well, I guess technically he's been erased from the erection.
Yeah.
From the resurrection.
Yeah. Folders. He'll never be erased from the erection.
Said Rogue. Yeah.
So I think that's when we were introduced to the old sea captain that would then couple with Jumbo Carnation. Anyway.
All right.
Pivotal issue.
I think we did it.
We did great.
That's the X-Men, folks.
That's it. That's our X-Men roundup. Thank you so much for listening. We will be here every week except for when one of us or both of us have COVID.
Yes, and we have to start using our memory banks again because coming up in a month, we're going to be talking about the best of 2023.
Good thing one of us keeps notes about everything we've talked about over the past year.
Shut up.
One of us does not.
Shut up. And I have my ways of going back and I figure it out.
I have my ways.
And we all know what Jeff's number one is going to be. Children of the Vault.
Children of the Vault. Yep.
All right, guys. Yes, you were going to say something?
I thought you were going to say Children of the Corn because that was more likely it would be your number one comic book of 2023 than Children of the Vault would.
Children of the Corn. I hate scary children. Scary children movies are the scariest.
Yeah, well, I hate children.
Because I'm telling you, like, if I was like babysitting a kid, and they were like I was watching a TikTok, and like they were like, she was like, mommy, there's man smiling in the closet. And then she's looking and she's like, there's nothing there. She's like, it's there. And I'm like, nope. I'm like, bye. You're on your own, kid. You're on your own, creepy kid.
Wouldn't you be like, okay, so why don't you just stay here and keep an eye on it and let me know if it does anything that I need to worry about?
Oh my God. Yeah. Guys, we're gay. I don't know if you realize this, but I am a homosexual and Brett is a raging homosexual. We have an unquenchable thirst for cock.
For knowledge.
What caused it was us reading comics. Because I don't know if you're aware of this. If you read comics, well, then that makes you
queer. Bye.
Bye.